Hello and welcome to the video. This is an overview and review of this model here. This is one of the latest models from the team at GEPRC and an update of a model that I am flying a lot, actually still flying a lot, and that is this thing here. Now this is the Cinewhoop HD. This is another GEPRC model. I actually looked at this one back in May last year, and it's still flying on a regular basis. In fact, you can probably see the little mount on the front. It's a great thing to put your action camera on too. Now, this was one of the first models that I got in with the DJI system on it after I got my goggles. So it gets flown an awful lot. This is particularly great for following my mate's fixed wings around. Now, there's only one issue that I've had with this in the whole time that I've had it. It's performed flawlessly. Is that these shrouds that are around the propellers are made of that soft TPU plastic, and if you have it in your backpack or whatever, and something's pressing on it, then it can get in a situation where it can be deformed and actually stop the propellers from turning. So I have a little routine now. Every time I take this out of the bag, I just make sure that all the props are free spinning. So when I saw this new one, this is the Crown, come onto the website from GEPRC, I thought, you know what, I've got to get one in and have a go, because this seems to address one of the few issues that they had with that, and that is more rigid plastic, kind of soft surround, so you can bump into stuff, and they've also included a cage around the camera so that if you do bump into something, you're not going to have a problem. So in this video, standard stuff, time codes below. We'll go through the unboxing, showing how it comes. No doubt it's going to be covered in cellophane, they always do from GEPRC. Show you the Betaflight settings with a dump and diff file so you can see how that's set up. And then show you some flight footage and thoughts at the end. The only comment I'll make about this before we get too far into this is that there are two versions of this, a 4S and a 6S. Now, normally I tend to get 4S versions of models in for review. I have a lot of 4S batteries. I'm not a big 6S fanatic. This is the 6S version. I'm using it with a battery that I got from Hobby RC here in the UK. And it is incredibly powerful. This is hovering at about a quarter throttle and has a lot of beans. So if you're looking for something that is this kind of form factor, but that has an amazing amount of power, then this 6S version is probably the one you're going to want to go for. So let's get into the unboxing and get into the details. So this is how it comes in the box. Actually came with something else, and you can see there's something else squished it a little bit, but it's absolutely fine. Again, this is the Crown HD Vista. This is the 6S version. So the GEPRC team are saying that this Crown is suitable for indoor flight and aerial photography in crowded environments to protect the safety of others. Actually, this is an incredibly versatile model. That means that you can fly pretty much anywhere without too much worry of getting things broken off. Covered in the standard cellophane with a bag of bits. Something like the GoPro 6, 7, 8 or 9 would go perfectly at the front, and the CNC aluminium alloy camera mount is a nice addition to protect the camera in the odd chance that you do manage to hit something where there is something proud in between those two center props that you're going to strike. As with the other version of this model from GEPRC, the way it's built is that there's absolutely no props in the view at all. You're going to get a nice clear picture from that lovely Cadix Pro at the front. 156mm wheelbase, F7 base flight controller in here. That's another big upgrade. We'll see that in Betaflight in a moment. A 45 amp G-Shock 600 ESC in here as well, and it's the Cadix Vista HD system at the back with a much larger, longer antenna than on the previous version. You can really see here the differences between the two. There's a little bit more meat to this new version, and the props are far better protected inside the shrouds with the foam enclosure. Propellers are 3 by 4.5 by 3 inches, and the two motors, if you're on the 4S, it'll be a 1408 3500, or this 6S has the 1408 2500 kV. Weight without batteries looks like this. Weight with batteries looks like this. So let's look at the Betaflight setting next. Obviously, you're going to need the adapter that is in the bag because there is no way to get to the USB port that's at the side of the flight controller without it, with it being hidden away in between all of those large ducted props. So let's click on Connect. And immediately I can see there's something in the data flash. Brilliant. It has been armed and checked before it left the factory. Good job. Everything's moving. Looks fab. So jump into ports, show you how it's all set up. So it looks like we have UART1 for the DJI stuff, so the MSP, and everything else is disabled. No GPS on this, so this isn't an Explorer that will get it back to you in the event of a problem. Motor prop is reversed, D-Shot 600, 8K gyro, 4K PID loop frequency, but the CPU is doing almost nothing. This is an F7 based processor, as already said, so this should hopefully be future proof for quite a while. D-Shot beacon stuff isn't turned on. I'd turn that on just so that give you a better chance of finding it. Power and battery look like that. Failsafe looks like that. PID profiles, check the dump and diff, that's our links in the description. Modes is an area that I would potentially come in and tweak a few things. This looks like it's expecting the switches to be in the opposite orientation from how I particularly use them. So I would recommend going in and just checking that the modes are laid out the way you want them to. For something like this, I tend to have angle as the low position and then horizon as the middle and acro as the top in case I ever need it. On-screen display needs a visit as well. Loads of things in here that could be put out onto the DJI goggles. So enable your telemetry, and the MSP stuff's already wired up. So play with that. And then I'll do the dump and diff. Again, links below if you want to have a look how it's set up. Let's face it, what you really want to see is how it flies. So one of the things that you notice very quickly with this particular 6S version of the model is how much power it has. It is hovering at only about 25%. So this has a ridiculous amount of power for a model like this. This is the recording from the goggles. So this is definitely one of those models that is suited really to have an action camera mounted at the front. It is sipping the power from the 6S battery, hovering around and flying as I'm doing here. It's only pulling anywhere from about 4 to 6 amps. And the flying is very, very smooth once you get the hang of where the throttle point is. And that is one of the things I'd say about this. With an action camera on with a little bit more weight, it is a little bit smoother with the throttle response. As it is stripped without an action camera on it, any little throttle movement will have it shooting into the sky with that amount of power. So you could scale the throttle back if you wanted to calm it down, or actually you could still run this model on a 4S battery if you wanted to, and it would still fly absolutely fine. So this is a beast on 6S. But if you wanted a calmer, smoother flying experience and you weren't going to be using a heavier action camera, then the 4S version of it might be a better bet. Now, one of the things that I have noticed about these particular kinds of models is that because you can see the branches and the detail with the DJI system and the fact that the props are enclosed, you can get an awful lot closer to the treetops and do things like I am here, running down this water course without getting into trouble. Although occasionally you can end up in places where you have to try and figure out how to get out. The flight after this particular battery, there was about 13% left in the battery after 6 minutes 21 seconds of flying. So 6 minutes is a comfortable flight time on this particular battery with the 1100 6S that I have here. Again, I put a link down below for that particular battery I got from Hobby RC. So there you have it. So what do I think? Well, again, this is another very nice model from GEPRC. They do put a lot of time and effort into building these things. These quality stickers that are on here, QC passed, actually does seem to mean something. Always enjoy getting in one of the new models from GEPRC because it's usually a little cracker. Last one I looked at actually on the channel was this thing here. This is their little Cinewhoop 25, I think they call it, a little baby version. This is immense fun too. But going back to the Crown, the solid ducts are definitely an improvement. It's still incredibly loud when it's flying. You're not going to sneak up on anybody with this, and that seems to be a common complaint on all of these kind of models. But those shrouds do mean that you can do dumb things like brush past branches in trees and fly over long grass without worrying too much that you're just going to have it wrapped around the prop and the whole thing's going to just fall to the ground and be very unhappy. Setup in Betaflight is very good, great build quality, loads of cute little touches with the screws and the way it's put together. The Pro version of the camera is very welcome, gives a beautiful view, very similar to the camera on the full-size DJI system. Spare props in the box are nice, and I also like the fact that you can easily get to the USB port at the back, and you can get your tip of your little finger in there to press the bind button too, which means that that's dead easy. Air unit was activated. It was on the not the current version, the 1 version, so it's 0.5, but that's what I have in my goggles, so that was perfect for me. Although, like I said, getting into the USB port at the back to update it or activate it is simple too. And with the power on this thing, you could easily carry quite a heavy camera, hovering at about a quarter throttle with absolutely bags of power. Means that you could put your GoPro or something else on here. This will carry a much heavier load than the 4S version of the original quad that I'm kind of looking at replacing it with. But the 4S version probably going to be a slightly more sedate flying experience. Only a couple of things to be aware of. Obviously you need the adapter board to plug it into the computer. Just be aware of that. Don't lose that adapter board. If you do, then you'll have to take the entire left hand side props off to get to your flight controller. You'll definitely have to tweak the modes if you use your DJI controller like I do. I like to have all the switches in the down position as the default. It looks like in the mode setting, GEPRC seems to want you to have the switches in the up position. That's, as a guy that uses old school radios as well, having all the switches up or down is the default. So if you're the same as me, it won't be set up like that in Betaflight. And the on-screen display is going to need a bit of tweaking too. You can get all your information about battery status and stuff. It's all wired in. I'm using the air unit for this, so there was no need for any extra messing about, but you can easily add your own little receiver. There are the guides and stuff for the antennas. So the conclusion is, if you are looking for a camera ship that can carry quite a bit of weight, has a lot of power, and is pretty bulletproof, this is a great option. Definitely gets 5 out of 5 from me. Be aware though, there are 2 versions. 4S is probably going to be better for less aggressive flying. 6S is going to be better if you want to carry the heavier weights or you want to fly quite quickly. Maybe you're chasing something that's particularly fast. Obviously, if you're into acro or flippy floppy and kind of capturing cinematic shots isn't your bag, then these kind of models aren't going to be right for you. But there are lots of other things in the GEPRC range and others as well that might be a better fit for you if that's what you want. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that if you're trying to learn a topic will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.